Hey there, Clara Rhoden here. Today we are going to talk about the 2 simple things you need to learn in order to play any song. So the first thing you need to know is how to count to 7. Yes, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The second thing you need to know is this simple pattern. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Now, if you don't know what a tone or a semitone is, please click on the link to my previous video on tones and semitones. Everything I'm talking about is based on tones and semitones, so you need to understand it. So please watch the video if you haven't, or review the video if you've forgotten. Music is made up of groups of notes that we call scales. Scales are usually made up of 7 notes. Now, most of you will know the major scale. Most nursery rhymes and kids songs are written in the major scale because they are a kind of happy sounding scale. And it goes like this. Now, each of these notes we give a number. So the first note we call 1, second note we call 2, third note we call 3, the fourth note we call 4, the fifth note we call 5, the sixth note we call 6, and the seventh note we call 7. And then the 8th note, which is an octave above the first note, so it sounds the same, that we go back to 1. Okay, let me just talk about octaves for a second. So the word octave refers to a note that sounds the same as another note because it's either half or double the frequency of the note either side of it. Scales are the notes we play between the octaves. Okay, so let's look at how a major scale is made up. Remember the pattern that I just told you. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So we look at the guitar and we can work out just by counting the tones and semitones how to play a major scale. So let's just, for simplicity's sake, we're going to try and play a scale just on one string. So I'm going to show you the major scale just on the low E string, which is the 6th string. All right, ready? So we go like this. 1, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And you can do the same for the next note up, which is an F. So let's try it on the F. See? 1, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And we can do it on every string. So let's do it on the A string. Ready? 1, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. You're probably noticing a pattern now. So even though I'm starting the scale on a different note, the scale notes kind of sound the same in terms of the order that I'm playing it and the sound that they have in relation to each other. So now let's go the next step, which is playing the scale across the strings. So if you remember from the tones and semitones video, the guitar mostly changes to the next string on the 5th fret, which is the 5th semitone, except for, do you remember? Between the G and the B, which is only 4. Right? 4 frets, 4 semitones. So, with knowing that knowledge, we can put that into our scale. So, let's try it again. I'm starting with the E again, and let's work it out together. Ready? 1, tone, tone, and the next one's a semitone. So we could play it on the 5th fret, or we can go to the open A string. And then we're back to a tone, another tone, and then another tone, which would either take you here, or remember the 5th fret is the next string. So we're going the next string plus a fret. And then the last note is a semitone. All right, let me play that again for you. One, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And we can do that for every other starting note. Let's try it with the F, which is the next note up. One, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Cool. And then we can try it with the next note up, which is an F sharp. But we don't have to stress about that because we don't have to know the names of notes at this point. We just need to know the pattern. So let's try it from the F sharp, which is the second fret on the E string. Ready? One, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Pretty easy, isn't it? Now we can try it with the next note up, which is a G. Ready? One, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. I think you're getting the pattern now. So you see, we can do that on every single note and you can work out how to play the scale. So in the next video, what I'm going to show you is some finger patterns that will help you remember and be able to play that scale in any position without really even having to think about it. First of all, I want you to practice just counting the tones and the semitones between each of the notes to work out what the scale is, the major scale. And you can try that on every starting note, wherever you want on the guitar. But I want you to practice going across the strings in what we call open position. Open position means you're using these open strings. So an open string is when you're playing a string without pressing anything with your left hand. All right, so that's an open E, open A, open D, etc. All right, so I want you to practice. So that means we're going to try and learn those scales using only the starting notes up to the 4th fret. So including the open string and up to the 4th fret. And try and just use the fingering one finger per fret like this. So when you're playing the 1st fret, just use your 1st finger. When you're playing the 2nd fret, use your 2nd finger. When you're using the 3rd fret, use the 3rd finger. When you're using the 4th fret, you can use the 4th finger. Once you learn this pattern and you can remember what the numbers of each of the notes are, remember? If we're starting on E, E is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Once we know what these numbers are and where to play those numbers, playing a song becomes very easy because all we have to do is translate the notes of each song into numbers and you can play it in any key, as in starting on any note. It's actually a really useful tool to learn how to play guitar. Let's try it with just a really simple song, Mary Had a Little Lamb. So Mary Had a Little Lamb is, these are the scale note numbers. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1. And we can do that starting on another note. So let's do it in A major. So if A becomes our 1, 1, 2, 3, okay? Then we go 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1. See? Can you see how easy it is to translate that song into any key as long as you know the pattern and you know the scale numbers? So remember, all you need to know is how to count to 7 and the pattern tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, and you can start playing songs. So why don't you put that into practice right now? Get your guitar out and start working out what the notes are for the major scale on every starting note on the guitar. We'll focus just on the lowest 3 strings, so the thickest 3 strings here for now, and then later on we can move on to the higher strings as well, because knowing the ones down here will actually help us for the next part when we learn chords. All right, so just learn the scales that start from the E string up to the D string. All right, cool. So that's your homework, and I will see you in the next lesson.